Hello, everyone. So I'm gonna be trying to do a video a day. I feel like this is gonna out me if I don't actually get this out tomorrow. But either way, I'm trying to do a video a day. And I thought I'd do a fun one this time. And I have no promises for how long it'll last. To be honest, this could be my last video of the day, and I might just restart next week. But either way, I thought I'd do a fun video. As you guys saw, this is going to be a past life reading at a glance. I thought that'd be really cute, fun, and exciting. This is something I like to do. I think this is fun. So this will be pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. So again, this is under the assumption if you feel called to any of these decks that you've had a past life, and this is only one. You've probably had multiple. I mean, I can't say for sure, obviously, but like it's more than likely. So yeah, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, pile number 4. I hope you guys enjoy this reading. Hello, pile number 1, and welcome to your reading. And may I say it's an interesting one. Like, I love doing these because I just think they're fun, fresh, and exciting just in general, but I think yours is pretty interesting. So I kind of want to start with your like past life cards. So we have religious extremist, and they'll make sense in a second, hypochondria, and gladiator. So what this tells me is that you are a hypochondriac gladiator extremist. No, I'm joking. What this is telling me is that you probably fought for sport and fame. Maybe not so much in Rome, but you definitely, I'm kind of getting Victorian vibes almost. I'm getting a boxer. Because we have practicality here, which is Moon in Capricorn. And Moon in Capricorn, people generally want, you know, success, and they want to be seen as successful. Their emotional life is connected to success, which I think is really interesting, especially because your two tarot cards are the 5 of water and the 10 of water. And of course, 5 plus 5 is 10. And then we have the 10 here. So there's a lot of synchronicity in this. And what the 5 of water is telling me is that maybe you weren't as famous as you wanted to be. I think fighting people for sport and being, you know, like not happy with germs could be difficult for you. I don't know, maybe it put you in a rage mode. But I see a person who is flitting between extreme happiness and extreme disappointment. And a lot of their emotional well-being was kind of based around, or at least heavily influenced by the people around them. They, in your past life, you wanted to be seen, you wanted to be heard. And kind of led you into extremes in all varieties of life. Because again, we have this religious extremism. To me, this means that you are a very religious person. You are very, very, getting Catholic. So maybe not Victorian England, because it would have been very unlikely that you could have been Catholic in Victorian England, unless you were Irish, I wonder. But yeah, so you were a very practical person. You wanted to seek your wealth, and you were going to use your fighting abilities to do it. And I mean, I think that's cool. I think that's interesting. And I think it's, you know, fun. It's a good soul legacy to have. I wonder if in this lifetime you still like worry about how other people feel about you to an extreme degree, that like your emotional well-being can be heavily influenced. Because I think everyone is like a little bit influenced by like how other people see them. But I wonder if this is something that you're dealing with in this lifetime as well. A need to be seen, a need to be understood, a need to be heard, you know. This person is being crowned. As you can see, that was your goal. And to me, it's dubious as to whether you met it or not. I don't know. It's interesting. A lot of you guys worked hard for this. That is for sure. But I'm getting that there was some sort of disappointment near the end of your life. I don't know, like a stabbing or something. I think you were murdered. I don't know. Whatever it was, yeah. Whatever it was very unexpected to you. And it kind of made everything fall down really fast. Which is unfortunate. But yeah, so that's your spread pile number 1. Hello, pile number 2. Don't be scared by this, please. I swear, we'll get to it. So we have your past life. One of your past life cards are the Wounded Healer, Witness to Torture, and abuser. And that'll make sense when we look at this hero cards. We have the devil in reverse. In this deck, the devil upright's actually the good one. We have the queen of water in reverse. But we have harmony here, and that kind of like sealed the deal and kind of how I understood what was happening. So harmony is represented by your sun in Libra. You know what the stereotype for people who have sun in Libra is, you know, that indecisiveness. So I don't think for a select few of you, you may have been, you know, slightly abusive in your last life, but I think for the majority of you, you were complicit. Because we have this witness to torture. I think that whether you were actively abusing or complicit in it, this led you down a path of being a healer later in life. I think you had to come out of this devil energy, come out of this queen of water energy, to get into this harmony energy. I think that for a while you ran with some really bad people and you did some really bad things in your past life, but eventually you were able to come out of this and you were able to become this wounded healer. You learned from your past mistakes and you try to, you know, have a, what is it called? Like when the bad guy has their like redemption arc, right? Their redemption arc. I definitely feel as though you had your redemption arc. I think you eventually found that harmony. It just took you a minute. You had so much toxicity, you know, with this devil here and this queen of water. I think that you were very good at rationalizing your past life. And I wonder if that's something you deal with now as well. I'm almost getting, maybe not rationalizing in this life. It's more almost that you feel too much in this life. I wonder if that's something that you need to learn. Now, instead of rationalizing your feelings away of how these people felt, you're almost empathic. I wonder if you guys deal with empathy in this lifetime. I think some of you may be on the exact other note of that as well, though. Like I'm getting weird vibes. That's why I don't really like doing. Well, it's not that I dislike it. It's just it's hard for me to do general readings because you know you get different vibes and whatnot. But I'm certainly getting that some of you are very empathic and some of you are very cold. And I think that has to do with how you ended in this last life. Those of you who were very, very empathic are going to move into your next life, you know, becoming that almost super empathic person. That's becoming your lesson to be able to articulate your own emotions and parse your own emotions away from other people and have an emotional self that's independent of others. And a few of you may have died in this rationalization energy, still healing others, but doing it in a more cold manner with this air sign, you know. And in that case, that could have been brought over again. And your lesson is to learn how to be more emotive to people rather than rationally understanding and quote unquote playing the devil's advocate for populations that may be, you know, under stress that you may not be a part of. Your lesson this life is to just listen and, you know, incorporate yourself into the emotional hemisphere of these people. Obviously, you can't understand or hope to understand everything that these people are feeling, but you certainly can listen and try to help, and try to feel as much as you're able to, within your own emotional well-being, of course. But yeah, in a past life, I just see a redemption arc, you know, and whether you made it or didn't make it, I think depends on you. And I think intuitively, you guys kind of have an idea. I don't think too much of this is going to be like a shocker to you. I think you guys are going to have an idea just from like events in this life, which timeline I'm talking about you guys are on. But yeah, I see emotional instability in your last life, and I see someone who tried to do so much good and ended up doing so much bad. And then at the very end of it was able to fix some of their issues and fix some of the problems they caused, but not all of them. And whether you were a witness or a torturer, an abuser or a watcher, I think these are definitely tropes that are still probably coming into this life as well, interestingly enough. I'm sorry if this is triggering. I should probably put a trigger warning. I think I'm going to put it in the my description. I might do, what is it called? I might actually do timestamps on this one. And if I do end up doing timestamps, I'll put a trigger warning. If not, I'll just put it in the description in general because I'm realizing this is maybe triggering for people, especially because sometimes karma can be spicy. So yeah, this is what I'm getting for one of your guys' past lives. yeah, I definitely see a redemption arc though. So that's good. I hope this was informative to you at least, and maybe entertaining. Pile number 2. Hello, pile number 3, and this is going to be your past life reading at a glance. So we have construction other, which makes sense with the stuff. Nutritional or food issues with diet, and close encounter extraterrestrial. And again, we'll get to that soon. And then we have the Ace of Earth in reverse, Jupiter upright, and Discovery in upright. So Discovery is Mercury in Sagittarius, which I think is really interesting because we have Jupiter upright, and of course Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So kind of love that, right? Synchronicity there. What this is telling me is that you grew up really, really poor. You were not thriving. You had issues getting food, being able to eat. That was something that was a problem for you. But you were very charismatic with this Jupiter upright and this Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury and Sagittarians are people who travel. They're people who have the gift of gab. They're generally liked and like to be liked and are well liked in return. And I believe this is how you got out of the situation. And in fact, you were in construction, but you were not so much in the physical construction of things, rather the mental construction of things. You were a wordsmith. And your ability to be a wordsmith was something that was very important to you. And because it was your livelihood, really. It's how you became, where you are now. I don't know if in this life that's something that goes with you, if people say you're very eloquent or articulate. Like even now I feel like I'm speaking so much more smoothly, and I feel like I'm not so much at a loss of words while I'm tuning into your energy, which I think is really cool. Especially with my last pile, I was not thriving. But then we have close encounter here, and that talks about whether you believe in aliens or not. I'm not kind of like leaning towards that. I'm leaning more towards you were very into foreign ideas, especially because we have the Sagittarius here, and Sagittarians are known for traveling and absorbing new cultures and new ideas. And I think that was partly why you became so well known. I think you were a trendsetter. I think you were able to build trends while, I don't even want to say building trends. In fact, I would like to say you were someone who was able to build an empire on image, someone who's able to build an empire on being yourself, on expressing yourself. I'm getting like the age of tycoons and CEO monopolies. I'm seeing someone who rose from the Dust Bowl, someone who rose from financial ruin after World War II and was able to rise to heights based on personality. I'm seeing someone who was one of the first true socialites of that era. I think you might have been very thin, and I think you might have kept that going through the majority of your life. And I think some of you may in this life also have issues with food, whether that's eating too much or too little. What else do we have here at a glance? Because again, this is just a glance. If you'd like a more in-depth reading, please hit me up. But what else do we have here? Yeah, I'm just seeing someone who traveled a lot. I'm not entirely sure if you did this ethically, but it worked out for your money, BB, and I think that's really all that matters in the end run. You can't really be held responsible for your last life. You can just hope that you bring forward the lessons that you were taught in that life and implement them well in this current one, right? What else am I seeing? Yeah, I see also a fear of loss, a need of money. Like I feel that you felt you needed money, otherwise you weren't going to be successful, or you felt you weren't going to be successful. Yes, there's just this need for stability with you. But oh my goodness gracious, did you have the gift of gab? You were just so able to talk, so able to express yourself in ways that others marveled at, in ways that people paid to experience. And I think that's something powerful, honestly. Yeah, so that is your guys' past life at a glance. Hello, 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 pile number 4, and this is going to be your past life reading at a glance. You guys are the most interesting ones, I think. So you have animals, other, which is, we're going to get in that. We have brainwashing, other, goes into that. And we have earth disaster, earthquake. Then we have moon in Leo, appreciation, tower in reverse, and the ace of water upright, wisdom, fluidity, and awareness. Now we get into the spicy bit. So, some of you guys may have had inhuman past lives. By that, I mean you may have been animals. Don't know how that resonates with you guys, just what I'm seeing. Might have been domestic, so like cat or dog, especially because we have brainwashing here and it's other. I thought that was really interesting. So that could be like animal training. Not to say animal training is brainwashing, but I mean, like, I think there are some stark similarities. And then we have earthquakes. So you may have died in an earthquake. You may have been in an earthquake. Alternatively, if being an animal in your past life really does not resonate with you, what else? What else am I getting? Someone who lived a subsistence lifestyle. So someone who didn't herd animals, but lived with them. Kind of like, I'm like getting old world France, like Middle Ages, where the people slept above the animals in the barn in the same area. I'm getting someone in their past life who used to sleep with the animals below, especially the sheep. You love the sheep. I don't know why specifically sheep. That's an odd thing to love. But you love sheep and you used to sleep in the wool, which is interesting too, because sheep wool is notoriously full of poop, especially the back end. But anyway, moving on from that. Yeah. I see someone who either was or lived with animals, someone who had a life that was very controlled. You know, every aspect of your life was dictated by someone else other than you. You had a very few moments of freedom, especially with this tower here. You never were able to be jostled free of it. You were stuck in it for the rest of your life. But you were happy. We have appreciation here. We have someone who was happy, someone who enjoyed it, enjoyed life, whether it was because they weren't aware of what they were missing or it was because they actually genuinely enjoyed it. I don't know, but in this life you may have issues feeling restrained. You may be a very free person. You may not like to feel controlled by others, or alternatively you may feel safer. I feel like in these sort of reasons it's like you're either on one end or the other in these extremes, because it's, you know, past life, these are the energies you brought forward. Yeah, what else am I seeing? I see you in this past life being very emotionally giving, someone who is very loving, children are important to you, whether they were your own children or other children or like animals, like here. Even this as a child, now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't know. You guys were just like some free loving, living with the earth, being with the earth kind of people. Even when the earth shook you to your core, you still stayed in love with it. I don't know if you're nature lovers now or animal lovers now. I feel like you probably are. Yeah, I would say learn from this life. You know, sometimes it's okay to have tower moments. They may be uncomfortable, but they're usually helpful in the end run. Hopefully, you know, you never want the tower moment that is like cemented with the Ten of Swords. You want the tower and then the star, you know. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm getting for you, pile number 4. If you were an animal, yeah, I was getting something domestic. Cat, dog, bird, even. I wonder, I feel like some of you, this is so weird. I don't even know why, but this is so weird. Paleolithic wolves, like the animals that were coming into man and like, I don't know, that's an interesting kind of story, right? You know, starting as a wolf that's becoming domesticated by early humans and then becoming a human yourself. Interesting tale. Someone should write the book. But yeah, that's what we have for you, pile number 4.